Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of August, right through the end of September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So let's get straight to it. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile will be the unified energy of how things come together. Also, it's worth looking up online what it means to be in a twin flame connection, because if anyone is emotionally, physically, or mentally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That is more likely to be a false flame connection, and that will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time, okay? False flames and even karmics will trigger you without any evolution. That's how you know. If you are with your twin, you will grow from the experience. It spins you off onto a path of self-discovery, of connecting to your true life's purpose and mission, and of course, affecting change for deeper unconditional love, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. Now, twin flames, I'll give you a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame connection, but there's a vast amount of knowledge online about it, so check out, the internet as well there. But twin flames, they are intense, very magnetic. You're drawn to your person. It's overwhelming in the emotion. And of course, it is very intense physically, mentally, romantically when you first meet. But the twin flame journey serves a purpose, okay? It's more of a spiritual awakening than an actual physically romantic relationship. It's a process that prepares you and your twin to release lower vibrational frequencies that keep either of you stuck in unhealthy attachments, addictive patterns, or even in fear and self-loathing. Now, it's a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it is a personal journey of discovery, and it is one that must be done on your own, okay? It must be done alone there, and that's why there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, that's not always the case, of course, but it does tend to be pretty typical, and, the job of the twin flame journey and your twin, as well as your job, is to trigger each other in order to discover your true life's purpose and embrace unconditional love. And only then can the reunion process really take place and be fully sustainable. The twin flame dynamic is a formed sacred union, which is often the result of shared difficulty and pain. So you may have had many challenging experiences on your journey before you even meet your twin. And anything that has been left unhealed, your twin's job is to amplify those areas. That's what their presence does, to promote healing, personal growth, and transformation. Now, your twin reflects back to you your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses. And it is a mirrored experience. So when your twin is looking at you, they're looking at all the things within themselves that they've been running away from their whole life. All the things that they have not processed, the things that they need to embrace in order to step up and surrender to the union. And they often push back out of fear. There's, something getting in the way of the twin flame dynamic at first. And I always like to explain it like magnets, both identical in polarity. If you think of two magnets that share the same frequency, they're charged in the same way, because at the very core of you, you share the same frequency as your twin, because you're twins, of course. So if you think about those magnets, they both attract each other, but they also repel each other. There is that space in between. They want to be together, but there's something like invisible at the core that is preventing both magnets from being together. So, the rite of passage of the twin flame dynamic is that both parties must remain separate, okay? And that promotes a feeling of being bereft, separate from what you perceive at first as your other half, but actually you're whole all by yourself. Your twin is a welcome addition to your life when both of you can process all the healing and the repair work and, focus on your purposeful path, shall we say. So, those magnets, you and your twin, it will perpetuate a cycle unless you change the frequency. And the only way to do that is to effect change by stepping back from your twin, focusing all that energy, care, love, devotion inwards to love yourself a little bit deeper, to focus on your sense of purpose, but also to, prioritize your own needs, build healthier boundaries, and of course, process the stuff. Okay, go through the shadow self and come out the other side. Now, it's a very overwhelming experience, and the separation period can be very lonely. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. Not everybody decides to take the twin flame journey, because it is a challenging experience. You can cut the cord. There'll always be only one twin. Okay, there is a sense of familiarity, like you've known each other before, because of course you seek each other out each lifetime. You actually want to be together, but generational wounding or cycles of repeat get in the way until that karmic release occurs. Then and only then can you come together in a solid union. Now, it's not a game, it's an energetic exchange. As soon as you step back and prioritize your own needs, then of course you change your frequency. You start to elevate. You start to spiritually evolve. And of course, the frequency within you, the magnet, because you are the magnet. You're drawn to your person, they're drawn to you. You want to be together. However, there is that space in between where there needs to be healing. And when the frequencies change, then your person, their magnet, will be drawn to you because your frequency is different now. Okay, you're hitting different in all areas of your life. So their magnet gets closer, curious, but also it triggers them to do the work, to step up or step out of the union. And I always say, do not wait for your twin, because, they have a path towards finding themselves as much as you do, and it can take them days, weeks, months, years, decades, a lifetime sometimes. So do not wait for your twin, because when the moment is right, divine intervention will bring you both back together. Okay, I want you to be aware of that. And also, some people do say, why don't twins just, confess all and say, look, I love you, I have feelings, but I'm going through a challenging time right now. Well, the depth of love that's on offer in a twin flame connection, you feel it. It's all consuming. And often, twins, they have a hard time articulating their feelings from a healthy place because of traumatic experiences from their past. So when they feel that deeply for another person, the depth of love can trigger every fearful emotion, okay? And the separation provides a space for both parties to address any issues or karmic imbalances, and often buried insecurities surface, so it can be looked at for healing. So I want you to be aware that sometimes people, they have unhealed responses where they have their go-to safe space. And sometimes that is withdrawing. It can be like protecting their energy. It can be denying their feelings, pushing their twin away, and vice versa, because of course you flip the cycle. You become the runner if you are the chaser for a brief period, and your counterpart actually discovers what it feels like to be the chaser as well, because you change the polarities. So that's a really bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. Twins, they have a purpose, a mission, a calling in this lifetime, and of course they've also had a very challenging experience before they even meet each other. So often, if a person has had trauma, trauma is an interesting one because it doesn't just make people stronger, of course, it actually damages the nervous system first. Okay, which can trigger a person to be in hypervigilance, fight or flight mode. So when they feel like they're getting close to a person, or they feel that they're being exposed in some way, like someone is really seeing them for who they are in all of their authenticity, but the fears of doubt or insecurities start to rise within them, then they push back. They get very kind of protective, defensive, and they cannot let a person in because people who've had traumatic experiences, they're used to people not showing up for them. They're used to walking a path where they're alone and having to be independent and be strong for themselves. So you're dealing with very complex dynamics in humans in general. Okay, and of course you may have experienced this too, my beautiful Pisces, so you may understand to certain degrees what's going on there, but also you must not lose yourself in this process, okay, because it can be very overwhelming. The point of the twin flame dynamic is to erect healthier boundaries, to state your claim as to how a person should treat you and value you, because you're starting with value for yourself, okay? So let's get to your cards. As I said, that's a very sort of small, bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. They often gravitate towards each other for healing. But actually, if you think about the nature of a healer, you don't often go to a person to heal you. If you go to like a counselor, for example, if you're trying to work through some stuff, the person that you go to for healing is often the person who triggers things within you for you to reflect on. Leading questions, for example, so that you can do your own healing. So a counselor, a psychologist, you'll go to that person, they'll ask you questions, they'll lead you to a path to remembering, your past in some way, or memories, and ask you how you feel. They're asking you to go deeper and really reflect on the essence of you, basically, so they can get to the root cause, so you can actually identify it for yourself and heal it. The person outside of yourself does not heal you, you heal you. So I feel you and the person that you're with right now, it was a very cathartic, healing experience to be with each other at first, but then the fears started to arise. Instantly, I can see your person has an abandonment issue, okay? I feel like this person is aware of that as well. But your first card there is the letter, and you may have messaged this person, you made such an effort with this person. We've got the Six of Swords. When I started your reading, I really felt this lethargy, like, I'm exhausted. I feel like emotionally, physically, mentally, you are drained from this. And you may have even said this in a message, or this is what you're thinking about writing to this person. I feel like you may have written a message, but you've never sent it. It's there. I mean, even if it's in your head to write, I feel like you've been formulating a message. But also, the Six of Swords is like you may decide to write something, but then you abandon it or walk away from it, or, you move on from it. Maybe it is a cathartic experience for you, but you made so much effort. Page of Pentacles there. I feel there's an energy here of you making an effort. And also, you creating a space for love to come on in that was healthy. And you want someone who is worthy of your love because you offer so much. You're a very romantic person. You have a lot of depth to you, a lot of feeling there. And the letter is an energy here of recognizing that you don't let just anybody in, but you let this person in. And I feel right now you're trying to make sense of things, because the letter is showing me right now that it's like you're trying to put your feelings into words, or trying to kind of like work out how it is you really feel, because a part of you, I feel there's this energy of drifting with that Six of Swords. It's like you don't know where this is going. I feel with that Six of Swords as well, you've been through a very turbulent time with this and you've thought about moving on. You don't want to, but I feel like you've been put in a position where you have no other choice. So your message to this person, if you have written one, which I feel a lot of you have, it can be that, like, make an effort or lose me. I'm actually hearing a very famous song, and this has come up in the past. This song, I mean, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, but I'm hearing this song. It's Say Something, I'm Giving Up on You. So I feel you right now are looking at this person's actions and feeling like there's nothing left. Say something, fight for this. Show me I matter. Show me you care is what I'm like hearing from this song, but also feeling in this energy. So you may have written this. I mean, it's number 27. When you reduce that, 2 plus 7 is 9. Hermit energy. So you're having a major spiritual awakening. You may have started journaling or trying to get what you feel onto paper in some way. You may have cathartically started writing poetry or writing prose or trying to just document how you're feeling. But it is number 7 at the bottom there. So this can indicate that you're at a fork in the road. 7s tend to be like the alternative strategy or the alternative path. A decision needs to be made. So there's an energy of like, should I fight for this? Should we fight for this? Is there anything left to fight for? And the other part of you is like, okay, I'm not going to compromise myself like that. I'm actually going to just walk away, be independent, and see what else is out there for me right now, because this is you like in new territory. I feel like the depth of love that you have for this person really surprised you. And this person got in deep, okay? And you may have felt that you've been drifting or in limbo, but I feel like you are contemplating moving on, because the Six of Swords is to recover from a situation and evolve from it. But you realize that actually you've been tested in this connection and you don't want to be in this position anymore. So you're thinking about moving on and perhaps even meeting someone new. It's not something that you wanted to have happen, but with that Page of Pentacles, it can be that you've made such an effort, you know, that you feel this person has not met you in the same balance and reciprocity. But also, you know, when you apply a Page of Pentacles, this can also be someone who's healing at home. So really kind of like having your own space as your sanctuary, trying to invest in yourself, trying to understand, and also realizing that your person missed out on an opportunity to be with you because their fears and abandonment issue got in the way of this connection, which this person is becoming aware of because they've got the Sun energy, which is an awakening card, okay? But also they're awakened to the fact that they know that you are their twin. This person is mirroring, okay? As you can see, there's a void there. So the void can indicate this person avoided their feelings, or they just refuse to look at their fears. They know that they're there, but they're like, nope, not going to get involved in that. No, no, no. And they just sort of love spending time with you, but at the same time, I feel this person was blocked, okay? And actually, because you have a blockage there, Six of Swords means you're in the rite of passage period in your twin flame connection. You're put on pause on purpose, okay? Now, Page of Pentacles, a lot of you are focused on your finances, stability, but also, you know, Page of Pentacles is commitment. You wanted commitment with this person. You know, you saw your future with this person. It started with this plan. It's like you met this person, you fell in love with this person, and you could see the plan unfolding. But it looks like right now you're in uncharted territory, you're drifting, you're not sure where this is going to end up, because anyone who has a Six of Swords energy, it can mean that you're being protected and guided towards, you know, unknown territory. So it feels very much like you don't know what's ahead, but you feel that if your person connects to you, you're expecting the same sort of cycle of repeat, okay? Also, Six of Swords, you feel very vulnerable in this energy. That hand represents like the Hamza hand, as it were. So it can be that you are protecting yourself and thinking about moving forward because you feel vulnerable. If you see that figure there, this figure is very exposed. So it can be that that's how you're feeling. You invested so much in this connection and you're feeling a little bit bereft. Like I'm being given lost in translation. So there may have been a miscommunication right at the beginning of this connection, but I just feel like both of you It's like you were on a course to be together, but your person blocked it. So we have to find out why that's gone down there. I feel a lot of you are investing in yourself at this time, trying to prioritize your own needs. When you have the Six of Swords, it means that you are detaching from your person. And this is the catalyst for change. This is what you're learning to do, to detach and make some changes. You feel that there has to be change. And if you don't see your person changing, you have taken it upon yourself to be the first person to make the change. And actually, that is the catalyst for your person to really look at where they are avoidant and where they need to process some imbalances. Now, this person, there's an energy of need with this person. So they feel like they're not enough. Straight away, I'm feeling that energy. I'm actually being given a song, which is really interesting because I just heard say something, I'm giving up on you. That's obviously your energy. Your person, I'm being given, it's almost like talking through songs. So either you have been putting like songs up on your social media, and maybe your person has as well. They contain a message. It's like it's speaking to each other. But I'm just going to give you the song I can hear now. It's so unusual to hear two songs, but I'll give you what I can hear. I'm looking right at the other half of me, coming back here to you once I figure it out. I think that's what it said. It sounded like that, figure it out or figured it out. Oh my gosh, that's a very famous singer. It's Justin Timberlake. And you may hear that song or even the other song in the next coming weeks, maybe even back to back. That would be a huge omen from your guides and the universe to highlight that, you know, there is a communication with you and your person in the future, and you got to make some choices. I feel like this is about being open to taking the next step, and this person is trying to kind of like articulate their feelings. They're a very deep thinker, this person. Hamlet syndrome, almost, like they do a lot of thinking and not enough action, if you know what I mean. But the sun is there, so this indicates an awakening. You've triggered this person off to an awakening. And this means there's raw passion, raw energy. This is how they feel about you. And the Two of Wands, oh my gosh, I just realized the Two of Wands actually connects to that song. Two of Wands is a waiting energy. It's like once I figured it all out, waiting, watching, thinking. You know, this person, they're sitting on the moon and they're actually just watching. The moon often represents fears, uncertainty, and kind of like figuring things out. So I feel like that card even connects to that song. So this person, well, you know, you're not a light switch. I've said this before, you're not a light switch. You're not here to be turned off and on when this person feels like it. So that's very important to recognize, okay? But this person always has the intention of returning, is what I see there. I mean, you have the Lover's card as an outcome energy. I didn't choose the cards, they popped out. You could have got any card there, but the Lover's card is there, which can indicate this person is aware that you are very special to them, that, I mean, they may not understand twin flames per se, but I feel they have a void when you're not there. And actually, look at that card. I'm looking right at the other half of me. So this person, I mean, there's an energy of mirroring for sure, but this person realizes you're so alike in so many ways. And I feel this person is sitting and thinking, but because we have a Five of Pentacles there, this person feels like they're not enough, or, okay, I'm being given an energy of a tornado right now as well. This person is like a path of destruction, very chaotic life, okay? And this person, there is a void here. It's like they blocked this connection with you. They felt very intensely drawn to you, passionate. They keep orbiting towards your sphere. It's like they know that you're magnetic, because this is how they feel about you, and they've got the sun energy, so they see a lot of passion. They see that they bloom and blossom in your energy. You offer an opportunity to grow, and they feel very happy with you. But there's something here that they are avoiding, because the Five of Pentacles is an avoidant energy. It feels very much like this person regrets taking an alternative path. And the alternative path basically made them either wait or it's like they always plan. I mean, the Two of Wands is literally a planning card. So it can be that they always plan to return. But I mean, you can't just pick a person up and down whenever you feel like it. So this person needs to mature and acknowledge that they can't just do that. There are repercussions for actions, of course, but the Five of Pentacles is an energy of insecurity, sudden changes in their life. It's like this is a card of happiness and this is a card of unhappiness. This is the card of like having it all, and then this is the card of losing it all or not having enough. So either this person, you know, they fluctuate in their emotions. I mean, I'm not medically trained to talk about like mood swings and things like that, but it could be that they have discussed bipolar, or they could have just mentioned it in passing, may not have even been like a medical diagnosis or anything like that. It could be that they just feel very different from day to day, because I'm getting a very changeable attitude with this person. I feel also that this person, there's an energy of something failing for this person or not going the way that they'd hoped is what I'm being given. And I'm not sure if everything was falling apart when you first met this person and they thought, you know what, I can't give to this right now. I'm going to have to wait this out until I'm in a position to give. I'm being given a very famous novel. I say because I just realized what the story is about. It's Wuthering Heights, okay, Bronte, Wuthering Heights. And Heathcliff is, of course, madly in love with Catherine. And is it Catherine? Kathy? I think so. My gosh, it's one of my favorites. And for the life of me, I've just had a mental block. Kathy, yes. And he goes away. He suddenly leaves, because he hears a conversation where basically he misses part of the conversation where it's like, Kathy says, you know, I couldn't possibly be with Heathcliff because of XYZ. And he understands in that moment that he's not enough. So he goes away to make his fortune, to become enough, to kind of like come back self-made and show her, look, am I worthy of you now? But when he returns, obviously things have unfolded where she has now gone off with, is it Edgar? My gosh, I read this like 20 years ago. But I think it's that. So I'm getting that book right now. So this can be just an indication from my guides that this person feels like they had to go away and make something of themselves. That's why there's a pause in this connection. And I'm not here to give anyone an excuse or a way out. I'm trying to understand the energy based on the cards and the energy that's coming out, but also to understand the outcome. So that's what I'm being given right now for my guides. May not resonate with all of you, but what I'm being given here is there was something in this person where they felt like they were a void. They, you know, no matter what effort they would make in this connection, they felt it would never be enough to keep you by their side. There's an insecurity at the root cause of this person. So it's like they waited. When you have that Two of Wands, it's like they looked at their future plans. They were assessing, you know, what they had to offer, because there's an energy here about effort and offering. And I mean, love is pure. It loves, and there is no need to think about finances and stuff like that. I mean, in order to build a life with a person, you have to have those elements. You have to be a team to work together to build resources so that you can, you know, build a life and have a home and all of those things. But ultimately, love is pure. It does not need those things. So love is love, right? So I feel with that Two of Wands energy, there is this kind of like planning to start seeing the results, but the rewards were not coming in. So they put the whole thing on hold. It's like they were frustrated. So I'm just going to pull a quick card on this, because this person is going through a major awakening, and they realize that they put this whole relationship on hold because of their insecurities or their feelings of not being enough. And I feel there is regret there. Fives tend to be a lament, a sadness, a regret, a disappointment, a deficiency, a lack. So this person, they feel like a victim of circumstance. I mean, they are not a victim, but I feel they've been through some struggle and hardship, but they felt when they looked at you, you outshone them. And they didn't mind that, actually. This person doesn't mind that at all. This person just felt like they wanted to join you in that, and they felt like they didn't have anything to offer to join you in that, in reciprocity. So, I mean, you're not looking for your twin to provide finances, but at the same time, this person was like, they couldn't step up. It was too hard to step up. We have the Knight of Pentacles. They left to either make their fortune, or they left in order to, you know, grow up a little bit, to mature. That Knight of Pentacles indicates that it was a very slow moving process. This person was determined to, you know, put in the hard work, but they had to be separate. That's what I'm being given. And I know it doesn't make sense. Sometimes in pride, people walk away in order to, you know, go off and make a name for themselves. This person needed to find a way to become stable, okay? Because this person, I'm being given an energy of that they are trustworthy, but they needed to find like a conventional way to find a solid foundation, to be stable, to be enough. That's what I'm being given. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that is not moving in the card, okay? So it can be that they found it really hard to move past this at first. But as you can see in this card, this figure turns their back in order to move forward towards money or stability or hard work. So I feel this person was being realistic, because with that Five of Pentacles, you know, deep down with their insecurities, and they presented those insecurities as truth. So they kind of felt that you would be better with someone else, or that, you know, you could do better, but actually you love this person and they love you, and that should be enough. But when a person's fears or insecurities get the better of them, then of course, sometimes love is not enough, because you have that inner battle. And I feel like you're dealing with a person who has an inner battle, okay? And again, I'm not here to make you feel sorry for this person. I feel like they're aware of the void. It's like they blocked out love because they said, you know what, I'll come back when I've got my plans together, when I know what I'm doing in life, when I figured it all out. I mean, that's literally what that song said, that song that came through. But the thing is, when they go through a spiritual awakening, you realize that you must trust the process, but nobody is figuring it out, okay? You trust the process. You utilize your intuition. You move forward. Doesn't matter what age you are. You can ask a lot of people, have you figured it out? And they'll say, no, just taking it day by day. Sometimes you feel like you've just figured it out, and then suddenly life will turn the corner or send you a curveball, and you're like, nope, haven't figured it out. It's about learning. We're all the student of life. We're gathering information all the time. And this person, I feel like they're starting to realize, actually putting things on hold, it just stagnates things. You know, it's now or never. And because we have this card here, this person is awakened to that. Now, this person does know that you were their twin, their divine counterpart. The Sun is the most positive card in the deck. It's all about love blossoming. It's the light. They saw you as a positive energy, someone they could trust, someone who radiated and mirrored them. There's literally two leopards there, you know, identical. So they do know that there's something that draws you both together, that you're so alike as well. So they may have even said that, we're so alike, we cancel each other out. Because there's something here about a void with this person. But as you can see, that Two of Wands, that figure has literally removed themselves from the earth, sitting on the moon. So the moon is all about fear. So the moon kind of like is all about them elevating because of their fears and not being grounded. So this person, they allowed their fears to make them very flighty or put the brakes on in this relationship. Now, that doesn't help you, my beautiful Pisceans, but I need to understand what was going on so I can understand an outcome. The outcome, we have the woman. Now, in the Lenormand deck, the woman is all about unconditional love. It is a knowingness. And this is the overarching energy for both of you. Both of you know that there's love there. Both of you may have questioned it, but deep at the core of your soul, you know there's love. There's something that draws you both together. And it is magnetic. And this is about being open to love, but most importantly, unconditional love, because this is the equivalent of the Empress energy. So that means, kindness with self, compassion for self. It all starts with the self first. So the healing for your person is to have compassion for themselves so they can overcome self-loathing or feelings of not being enough or doubt, for example, and vice versa. Whatever you're healing as well, my beautiful Pisceans, because I feel like you're learning to articulate your feelings from a healthy place. You are not wanting to run away from things that you discover within yourself for healing. I feel like you're stopping and actually addressing it, cathartically releasing it so it no longer has any power over you, because the past, it shapes who we are. And we must acknowledge that whilst it does inform us and shape us and teach us lessons, we must not allow it to impede our future happiness. And I feel this is about you and your person kind of opening up to more healthier practices, leading with love for self, but also for, the world at large. When we open our heart, we say yes to a lot of things, especially to love. So I feel this is about being in the flow, to come home to self, nurture yourselves in a different way, but know, because this figure has a hat on there and the hat is all about the crown chakra. So this is to know that when you discover yourself, you can actually start again with your twin. We have the letter A there, okay? And of course, that's like an ace. So this is the beginning of the relationship from a new cycle. So I feel you and your person, you can start again, but there must be accountability taken, a truth revealed, because we have that King of Swords. Something has been left unspoken in this connection, and I feel both of you are going to have a head-to-head in the future, and you will have a conversation with this person, and they've been meaning to tell you something for a long time. And I feel like there's an energy of them kind of like declaring that they think about you all the time. And if they were not in love with you, they wouldn't be consumed with thoughts about you. So they're going to be like trying to articulate that they've been trying to figure it out. Like, why is it I keep thinking about you? I'm separate from you and there's a void within me, but yet you and your heart are whispering from the sidelines, and I want to find my way back to you. So this person is actually going to tell you that you're the person for them, that they do love you, because there's two cards here with major love implications there. With that Lover's card, that's all about, union, choices, of course. It's about personal choice of communicating with yourself first, examining your motives and your values. Are you aligned? Are you aligned right now? Are you on your sense of purpose? Because that's what twin flame journeys are about. It's about separating in order to quieten the noise, in order to discover more about yourself, have unconditional love for self, implement self-care routines, but also to focus on your purpose. And the Temperance card is about patience, of course. It's about alignment. It's about blending your energies with your sense of purpose. Because if twins came together and they just were together, they'd be all-consuming. You'd never focus on your sense of purpose. So you have to find the balance. And that's why I feel you and your person would put on pause on purpose during this time in order to discover more about yourselves. Because King of Swords is all about knowledge. It's about truth. It's about seeing from a different perspective. But as you can see there, this eye is presiding over the ancient ruins of something. So it can be that, there's karmic cycles that are being resolved within you and your person at this time. But again, there's two beautiful white tigers there, almost merging into one. So this is like two hearts beating as one. Even though you're both separate entities, I feel this is about you both acknowledging that although you're apart, you still feel each other, and that you can come back together and communicate and be as one again, as a unit, a union, okay? I feel you both can come back together. I hope you can see that. There's two beautiful white tigers, very rare. I feel in your separation, you and your person realize how rare it is that you found each other. Not every twin flame finds each other in each lifetime, but you make a pact to search for each other over lifetimes. And I feel this is about you both not wanting to miss this opportunity. But the King of Swords is an energy of detachment, logic, truth, order, and decisiveness. So you have the Lover's card, so I feel like your person is getting their life into order, because I saw a tornado with this person. Very turbulent feelings, you know, some sort of destructive path. This could be that they were on a destructive course when they met you, and they didn't want you to be involved in that. So they pushed you away. They thought they were protecting you, but actually they were breaking your heart. So there is something here that's going to be resolved regarding that. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there, my beautiful Pisceans, because I know it is tough. And of course, if you're a cross watcher and you've been going through this, I see also that you have been numb for some time, trying to work things out within yourself. I feel you have to acknowledge that your twin loves you unconditionally, and they're not going to leave you. So if there's an abandonment issue here with that Five of Pentacles, which I feel like you have learned that love leaves, or that you've loved and lost in the past, your twin wants to stick around. But it's a two-way street, and you both got to meet each other halfway, and accountability, honest, raw conversations have to be had before you can really solidify a long-term sustainable relationship, okay? Now, the Temperance card, of course, is patience. So can you find a way back towards each other? The answer is yes. We've got the stars there. That is healing. And I would say psychological healing, because the Temperance card is about the psychological aspects of, you know, the turbulent energies within ourselves to try and bring them back into some sort of harmony. And you have the King of Swords there. So I feel, well, it could be both of you actually, but I actually feel your twin has had some very cruel experiences. Maybe people have said some cruel things, or they have had cruelty in their life. That's what I feel there. But both of you could have had these experiences before you came together in union, and in separation. You must heal these different aspects of self before you can really articulate, you know, your feelings on this, but also come back together and talk, because King of Swords is a negotiation card. It is a talking card. It means both of you have been thinking about each other and you want to say something, but also both of you want to be seen in all of this, because I feel this has been a bit of a messy situation. And I feel that sometimes we have to acknowledge, in fear, people step back. They don't want to run away completely. I feel like your person stepped back. And then you can feel that because you're an empath. You feel them stepping back, so you take a step back. Then they feel that you took a step back even further, and they're like taking a bigger step back because they're like, whoa. And then you've got two people who are stepping away from each other when really their arms are out saying, no, I actually don't want to go away, but I feel I have to distance. So I feel there is this energy of you both finding your way back towards each other, because we have the Lover's card as your final card, which is all about love saving the day. It's about sharing memories, sharing the moment, sharing the future, but it's a choice. The Lover's card represents like a union of duality, both of you choosing each other and showing up for each other every single day, and not taking each other for granted or allowing the fears to be the space in between this relationship, preventing you both being together as a blockage, okay? The Lover's card is a card of unconditional love, of course, and it is a card of being bound towards each other, but having to make a difficult decision, because there is romance there. There's also friendship there. And I feel both of you, your true feelings have lain dormant. You may have articulated a lot of how you feel with this person, but your person has kept it all bottled up. And I feel in your future, there is a communication coming here that is romantic, that is sensitive, that is gentle, that is honest, that is open. And then you get to decide whether you want to take the journey of life and love with each other, or do you want to go your separate ways? I mean, all the cards are pointing right now to whoever I'm picking up on, that with patience, understanding, and also interesting about the King of Swords is, you know, no attachments to an outcome. Just kind of saying, let's see how it goes. Let's just be honest. Let's bring our feelings to the table. Let's really just talk it over. And if we find our way back towards each other, then great. But if not, we'll deal with that and we'll cut our losses and leave and try to find each other in the next lifetime. So it's your prerogative always. I cannot ever make a decision for you, my beautiful Pisceans. I can read the energy of where you feel like you're at right now and where your person's at. But I do see in the future, both of you will be in a period of reflecting on whether you can save this relationship or whether you walk away forever, okay? So I do see some communication coming on in here for you and your person. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisceans? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? So, this is a deck that is basically conversations that have been left unsaid or anything that's not been addressed in this reading. And it says, I hope the future will bring us together. And I feel like your person is hoping for that. There's something about this person. It's like in the future, they see you both together, but they've been waiting to get their life in order, or they've been waiting to figure something out first. What that is, I feel, is more to do with them feeling like they're not enough or feeling this void. But happiness comes from within. Happiness is never tied up with another person, and I feel both of you have been learning that. It's a very hard lesson to learn, but it is a lesson that helps you, re-empower yourself and acknowledge that anyone who's in a relationship with you, no matter who they are, your twin or a soulmate, even a karmic, basically, you are whole all by yourself. And that person who is joining your life is a welcome addition to your life. And if you're not feeling fulfilled with the relationship in its present form, take a step back. Really work on how you're feeling about this and be true to your feelings. Honor your first feeling and decision, because that's normally your gut instinct telling you how you should react or proceed in a situation. And then watch the future unfold as it's meant to. You can always adjust your course. You can always return. There's never a wrong move. I want you to be aware of that. But I do see that there's an energy, because the Sun card is a hope card. It is like a brighter future to look forward to. But this person is like thinking in the future. Now, I miss talking to you, and I feel this is the truth, because the King of Swords is there. This is a communicator, but someone who's a very deep thinker, someone who's got like Hamlet syndrome, thinks of things to say, sometimes even thinks they sent a message saying it, but didn't. But it's that person who really thinks about what to say and then almost like talks themselves out of saying it, and then sits on the fence for a little bit too long before taking action, and then misses the moment. So I feel this person, they do miss talking to you. And finally, we've got, I want you in my life, but I'm afraid. Fear. Fear is the number one kind of end to hopes and dreams, goals, wishes, relationships. Fear. If only we could just recognize that fear is false evidence appearing real. Our ego is whispering to us to tear us down so that we do not reach our full potential. So when we acknowledge that, we can really look at the root cause of the fear and see that it is something that is overcomable, if that's even a word, but you can achieve so much and conquer it and find a way back towards each other. So when your twin articulates that they want you in their life, which I feel like they do, looking at the end cards and the energy that's coming out, and that they do miss talking to you, and I feel deep, deep down when you hear this from your person, you know that it is their truth. They are coming towards you with authenticity because the Sun is their first card. Okay, they want to reveal. They felt exposed in this connection, like they didn't have anything to offer you, but time has given them space to actually reflect on the fact that it was their fears, because that figure is sitting on the moon. Okay, they remove themselves. This figure is literally removing themselves because of their fear, because of their shadow self, because they were uncertain. And maybe even for some of you, this person has been deceived in the past as well. So, because I'm getting this energy of like romanticism can be deception, and them really thinking about that or sitting with that. So I feel this person may have been cheated on in the past, but more than anything, it's like they look at you and what you have to offer the connection, because you've got the Page of Pentacles there and they've got the Five of Pentacles, and they look at themselves and say, I can't match that. So they kept you at arm's length. They kept their distance. They didn't want to, but I feel like their fears kind of overruled that and made them. So humans are very complex. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay, so we have the snake. Now, this is the year of the snake, so this is the year of change for sure, but this is a rebirth. You know, snakes, they shed their skin, so releasing old cycles of repeat, or releasing past, or releasing something in order to be brand new. This person is becoming a new person. They're not quite there yet. There's still a little bit to go, but they are going to at least step up and try and show you that they're changing. Also, you know, the snake can represent toxicity, once bitten, twice shy, trust issue in this relationship that needs to be looked at and resolved. Because when this person comes to you good, how can you trust that they're not going to fall back into a cycle of repeat? That's something that needs to be repaired and will take a long time. You know, it's a long way back towards trust and love after something like that. So both of you will have to work on that. But also, you know, the snake is an energy of rebirth. You and your person can actually find a way towards this relationship becoming a different form, where there is a foundation of trust, where you can love each other in a foundation of healthy, you know, growth, as it were. So yeah, I feel that you and your person, there's a lot of changes going on here, but ultimately you're finding your way back towards yourself first, so you can find a way back towards each other. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates for you in this reading. Now, if you want to enter a competition to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji in the comments box below of a candle. And if you don't have access to a candle, all you have to do is write the word candle, and my guides will give me someone's name. They'll draw me towards a person's energy, and I will announce the winner's name at the end of September. So you have ample opportunity to enter the competition as many times as you like, of course. And, you know, the world needs a lot more light right now. So that's why a candle in the comments box below, so important. But if you could imagine a big ball of light as well, you know, radiating from your very being to lift vibrations, that would be important and very wonderful of you as well. Even listening to your favorite song changes your vibrations inside of yourself, which will emit outside of yourself and change the frequencies in the world. We interact. There's all these frequencies flying about. They're changeable from moment to moment, but if you can dwell in your favorite song for a couple of minutes, you can change those vibrations. Now, you don't have to do that part, but if you just put the emoji in the comments box below, that's just enough to enter the competition. I'm just thinking on a wider scale because, of course, we need more light in this world right now. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, my beautiful Pisceans, and love and light.